Hello everyone and welcome back to the vlog. We are 39 days post ostrigonim surgery, and to be honest it has been a little while since I posted a little bit about my process on here, just because sometimes it can be quite painful almost to kind of go over the last few weeks and the twists and turns it has taken, because recovery is never linear. That is just a fact, and so although we're doing more ballet, it's still painful. Nothing really still feels very normal. So I was definitely getting back more into shape and doing a lot of stuff at home, chucking all my family out of my living room over this Christmas period. It was definitely difficult to rehab at home because we had a lot of friends and family over, so lots of early mornings and discipline. Even when everyone was sitting around eating chocolates, had to make sure I was still getting all my rehab done every single day, and going to the gym regularly, which was a bit tricky when it closed on Christmas Day and Boxing Day, but you know, I did as much as I could at home. I have my ballet part of my day, which I did in the mornings. I had it's like an hour and a bit warm-up exercises, and then I do a ballet bar for 40 minutes to an hour, just really honing some technique things as well, and then going on to do a gym session with so many rises, lots of balance work, lots of stability work to kind of get the ankle really back strong again. The main issues I was having on this particular week was my knee was still a little bit swollen. I usually find that when I've had a bit of a time off, sometimes my knee can get a little bit achy, a little bit swollen, so I was still kind of working on making sure that was kept under control, and then I was also trying to refine the range in my ankle.
That was
Gosh, you're right.
terrifying.
What's up?
No,
Evening.
on that Flash movie.
To be honest, it was a challenging time of year because I had already been home for quite a bit of time post-surgery, so I felt not quite ready to be home yet, which was sad because obviously usually I'm so excited to go home, but I did feel like things in Birmingham with my rehab were going so well and I didn't really feel ready yet to kind of have another break. So I was kind of conflicted in my heart, but to have everyone home and obviously to spend time with my family is always a joy, but I just felt so distracted.
I shouldn't be looking at the screen, should I?
I look back on these clips with a little bit of sadness because I know that my head just really wasn't at home. It was constantly in the gym, or what could I be doing next to rehab better? How can I be honing my diet and my exercise so I can get back stronger than ever? And that doesn't really go together very well with Christmas. So I do have to say that was a struggle to kind of balance off my ambition to get back and also enjoy the holidays with my family. So it didn't necessarily feel like a holiday for me mentally. I definitely felt very honed in and focused on my recovery rather than being present with my family.
Construction took about 10 minutes.
So you've got a little pathway here.
Okay, it's
And
mostly
then
done.
you have it covered. It's literally like the New York Christmas tree. Nothing like the one in Trafalgar Square. These are the owners of the house. They're very noisy neighbours.
Emanating Hannah's alive, that's what we're doing.
Here we have lots of snow gumdrops.
Ooh!
It's gone all crazy.
Christmas doesn't feel so far away.
Hello! Go all together. Get with Hannah. Not very and up. Oh gosh.
Years before.
Up the toe up. Come on, up the toe, dude. Now up. Toe up.
It is up.
No, it isn't. I don't think you know what
This I would drive, however.
Hello!
I did do a few of these morning sessions with my brothers, but we soon found out that there really was not enough space for us all to do full body flex together, so I kind of did full body flex on my own most mornings, and I actually found it so helpful. It loosened me up so much post-surgery. I'd only recently been able to kind of start doing it again just because of restrictions with my injury, but now full body flex has literally been a saving grace, and I do the week 3 one pretty much every morning. Even now that I'm back at the company, it just feels really good on my body. And here is me doing some balance exercises that was set by my physio. This was just to really increase the stability of my ankle, and also it really did feel like I was making some progress in the ballet area as well, which was always exciting, especially in this recovery.
so far away.
Good morning, everyone. Yeah, my hair looks crazy. When I wash it, I don't know if anyone else gets this, when I wash it, it goes, and if I haven't sprayed it, it goes a bit like this. Oh, what is happening? Bad hair day. Anyhow, I just finished full body flex this morning. That is my 4-week flexibility program, and honestly, I haven't been able to do it because my ankle, because of all the lunges and stuff, I just didn't have enough bend in my knee to actually do it until this week, and I needed that so bad this morning. I didn't realize how stiff I felt. Now, I don't know if I'm stiff because I'm not stretching enough. I am doing my stretches every day, but I'm wondering maybe I haven't been doing enough of them. So I'm definitely gonna start full body flex every day because I need that for my body. Because afterwards I was like, wow, how stiff have I got? I was actually kind of ashamed of myself, but I don't know whether it's because the strength stuff, I did 6 sessions of the strength stuff last week, and whether that's just making me seize up a bit, because I definitely didn't feel that stiff after surgery. So I'm wondering if it's just the strength. That's why you have to marry strength with stretch, because otherwise you get really stiff. I'm back at home, so this is the first time I've talked to you since being back at home. I have to say, when I first got back, I was like, oh, I just felt like I got in a really good rhythm at work. It's sometimes difficult to transition back there, and I was like, I didn't feel quite ready to come back home yet, because it'd only been like a week and a bit. But I'm here and I've adapted, and obviously I love spending time with my family. To be honest, I've been so exhausted from the workouts that I don't know how present I've really been. I'm hoping, again, my body will adapt and I'll be able to be a bit more present with my family, because that's super important around Christmas time. It is Christmas Eve right now. My whole family's actually at the gym and I'm going to go join them. I just wanted to do my ballet bar while they were all out, because I have to take over the living room for that. My knees a little bit, it got really quite sore after Saturday's session, and so yesterday was a bit sore, so I rested it all day yesterday. Today it's better, but it's still a little bit on edge, so I need to take care of it. I always find when I'm coming back to doing turnout exercises that my knees need a bit of TLC, so I'm trying to take care of them by bringing the turnout in. But it's just, as ballet dancers, you know, it's nothing worse than feeling super turned in, and to be honest, everything feels so turned in. I don't know whether it's because my muscles are tired and they just won't rotate, but like everything feels like it's switching off, and I'm like, good morning, it's Monday. Anyhow, that was a long rant, and now I need to get to the gym, otherwise that's not going to happen, because we have a little family day out. My brother's going to Chessington, and we're going to a nice garden centre around Chessington, but I need to go and complete my workouts before that time, so we're almost there. We started early, gonna get it finished, and then it's out the way for the rest of the day.
It did feel like it took quite a lot of discipline kind of to keep myself going, especially when it's the time of year that everyone kind of winds down. But for me, I was only just getting back started, so I really didn't want to start missing any sessions or get behind on my rehab. I really wanted to make as much progress as possible in this little break before going back to the company, but it was making me absolutely exhausted. So even when I went out with my family, I felt like I was just wanting to fall asleep. But again, part of the process, part of learning. If I went back, would I do it differently? I'm not 100% sure, to be honest with you. I love what I do, and I honestly just am so desperate to get back to doing it, and I will do whatever it takes to get closer to that goal. So here I am on Christmas Eve doing my full body flex workout before the day starts. And yeah, obviously it was lovely to have my family around me, but I really wanted to try and maintain my focus as much as possible right up until Christmas Day. I was going to give myself Christmas Day off and completely commit that to being with my family, but up till then I really just wanted to act as if I was still in full-time training, which I was. One of the biggest things I was still struggling with, as you can see in this clip, was just that stiffness in that ankle. It still was not pointing the way that I need it to in order to be able to do proper point work or releve, and to be honest, every time I started the bar, my arch would just cramp up so bad. I think it was just because of the stiffness and trying to get it to point. Also, I was just refining my ability to straighten my knee again, so you'll see in some of these clips as well that my knee is slightly soft because I couldn't fully straighten it just yet, but I knew I kind of had to go through the process of retraining it because I'd had a similar process in my last recovery, and the only way to kind of get the knee back to full strength was doing some gym exercises, but also doing a ballet bar just to get it back used to it, but being a bit slightly more gentle with that knee, and sometimes not following every single ballet rule while it recovered, which just, it seems foreign to a ballet dancer, but it's sometimes what you need to do to recover, which feels, again, sometimes wrong and frustrating, but sometimes it's the only way to kind of get yourself back up to full strength. And Frances Collier, my rehab injury mentor, was really helping me with that, so I will link her down below.
Hello everyone, it is Christmas Eve and I'm just heading to the gym. I've done my morning session at home where I did my feet exercises, full body flex, which you can go and check out if you want to, and then I did a bar, and now I'm gonna go do my program at the gym before. I've got some family stuff happening, so I need to just like get on with it. Yeah, I need to get everything done before midday today, which is a bit crazy. It's 10:30, so as long as I get to the gym by 11, I'll have an hour to do all my gym stuff. Should be enough time doing it out. I'm in a lot less pain today, which is good. Yesterday I was a lot of pain. Today my knee and ankle are a little bit kinder to me. Right, let's go. So we went to Auntie's and now I'm walking down the same road as before, but with the whole family. Well, not the whole family, we're missing Dad and Luke. 2 weeks ago we were walking down this road, we were walking on new ground, and now there's lots more ground to go, but it's okay. Is there a Wii game we could play or something?
How about Mario Kart?
What about Wii Party? What about like Wii Party? We could play a bit Mario Kart, I don't see why not.
Hey guys, so I made a whole Christmas video vlog, which was all about Christmas and the festivities, and I did put it in a separate video, a little bit like I was trying to kind of compartmentalize Christmas and my rehab. I've kind of done a similar thing with the vlog here, probably was just another mental way of trying to kind of disassociate the two things as separate events, which I don't know if it really worked, but I gave it a good go. I did have the most amazing day on Christmas, and we went for lots of walks with my family, and we had the most amazing Christmas dinner. It was a really, really wholesome time, and I absolutely loved every minute of it. We had a really, really great day with my family, so I will cherish those memories forever. But as always, Boxing Day, it was time to get back in the saddle. I was back doing full body flex and my rehab at 8 AM the next day, back at the ballet bar, still working on regaining that balance, regaining that strength, and finding the technique, but still missing some of my range and still in a fair bit of discomfort, which was never easy. But I was told that by my physios, if I continued, it was a way that I was mobilizing my ankle, and a way that I would get back faster if I just continued to work not into the pain, but slightly into some of the discomfort so that I could mobilize it. So that was what I was trying to do. I know that sometimes our brains as dancers, it's very easy to kind of mix up what discomfort is and what pain is. And I'm definitely someone who, if I have a plan to do something, I'll do it one way or the other, even sometimes when my body is saying no. And I find it very difficult when I sometimes will wake up and be in a bit of pain and then just convince myself that it's mental and it's not physical. So trying to strike that balance, because sometimes it is mental, is a difficult thing in recovery, because sometimes your body will tell you that it's in pain because of the trauma that you've experienced through surgery, or the trauma that you experienced when you were in pain with your injury before. So it's a difficult balance to strike, and it's still something I'm learning in this recovery process. And sometimes you don't get it right, and I think you just have to learn to give grace to yourself. And so I got all my exercises done nice and early in the morning before we headed off to my godparents' house So we left, I don't know, I think it was, my curfew was 11, so I got up, did my 3-4 hours at home before we left. And we had a lovely day and lovely walks where my godparents lived. It was another beautiful day, but again, I can't say that my thoughts weren't kind of still with my rehab and how I was going to be structuring the rest of the week to kind of get the most out of my week. And the next day rolled around and another full body flex session, and I also got a little bit of more private coaching with my brother. He gets lessons from a really lovely dancer called Kieran, and I kind of just hopped in, and this was also the first time me doing any kind of bit of centre in a bigger space. And to be honest, I don't know if I was quite ready for this, to be honest. I wasn't really sure where I was at, and when you're not sure where you're at, it's very difficult to kind of know until you try. And so I did do a little bit of practice, but to be honest, I could tell that my ankle just probably still wasn't quite ready for these more intricate movements in the centre without the help of the bar. So afterwards I did go and I did my workout at the gym and did a bit more stretching. I could feel my arabesques weren't quite where I wanted them to be, even though I was doing so much strength work, so I did some stretching after my session. So it's early on Saturday morning after Christmas, and I am going to the Royal Opera House to take class with the company because I should be performing at Royal Albert Hall this week. Obviously, for obvious reasons, I'm not, but I'm going to go take class, which I'm really, really excited about because it's my first company class since surgery. I know it seems almost crazy to spend almost an hour and a bit to 2 hours to get to a ballet class where I could only really do a bar, but I'd never actually been properly in the Royal Opera House studios before because I trained in Birmingham, so I just really wanted the experience and to be back with the company, which I was desperate to be part of the Royal Albert shows. It just felt like I was one step closer even though I was only doing bar. And to be in Covent Garden with all the Christmas lights and the vibes, considering I'd kind of been cooped up in bed for almost 4 weeks just a couple weeks before this, it just felt so special, and I really didn't want to go home. I just wanted to be out and about, being able to walk freely again without crutches, without so much pain. I can't say I was still completely pain-free at this point, but it was just so nice just to have some freedom and a bit of breathing space, and to have the inspiration of Royal Opera House did inspire this slightly late, unneeded kitchen session. And then the next day I went to church with my family. Good morning, everyone. I am back in London. It is Monday. It is officially 7 weeks since surgery, and I am walking to the Royal Albert Hall to take class with the company. They're performing there. I have to say the last few days have been really tough. Last time I was injured and missed the Royal Albert Hall, it didn't feel so bad, but this time for some reason it's just really hitting hard. I just so wish I was performing there. I'm hoping I can get a little bit of the experience by just taking bar. I'm not doing much more than bar right now. I'm excited to go. I think it's been lovely being at home with the family, but been a bit tricky trying to rehab because everyone is like in chill mode and I'm trying to push. Kind of going against the rhythm of home is sometimes quite difficult. And am I going to get run over? Maybe. I like being in the kind of busyness of London again though. I do like city. I like being home to take a break, but I do like the rigmarole of the city. So very pretty this morning. Lovely skies and all the other lovely sights. I might actually also try and go to Whole Foods Market because I've only ever been once and I'll need to go grab some lunch after class. So that must be the Natural History Museum because there's like a dinosaur there. To be honest, going to the Royal Albert Hall, I was really unsure how I was going to feel, if I was going to go and see what I was missing out on, whether it would make me feel worse or better. But honestly, taking class in the beautiful atmosphere of Royal Albert Hall, even if it was just bar and a few exercises in the centre, felt honestly really magical. And seeing all my colleagues, which again, I didn't know how I was going to feel, obviously not being a part of it all, it was actually just really healing and comforting to know that I am going to get back and I will one day perform in this beautiful, magnificent theatre. And even just taking a moment to take it all in was really special for me, and it felt rewarding because I was able to be here because of the work I'd put into my rehab, even if I was just doing bar. So it did definitely feel like a step in the right direction. I'm so glad I went and did it, even though I didn't obviously feel in my best shape or feel nearly as, I don't want to even say worthy because that's the wrong word, but the same as my colleagues were who were performing. But it just felt so good to be there, and my ankles felt loose, and I finally started to feel a little taste of what I felt like before this surgery happened. And I did have a little explore around Whole Foods. I love kind of exploring different supermarkets and different places, so this was really a little fun excursion before heading back home to get the rest of my gym session done. I got a lovely big salad from the kind of deli bar, which I absolutely loved. I don't know if they call this a deli bar, it's more like a salad bar, but I pretty much had every vegetable under the sun. I just love vegetables, so it was a good outing and something I will definitely cherish and hold on to while I'm still in the midst of this recovery. And of course I got back and I did 2 hours and a bit in the gym. I was feeling pretty motivated after being there. It was definitely some much needed inspiration after what had been a difficult kind of few weeks and days, wishing I could be performing. I was mentally really struggling with the fact that I wasn't, so it was just nice to feel in some way connected to my performance self. And also on this day I tried my very, very first jumps, so hence why my feet are a little bit unpointed, looks very messy, definitely not the way I normally jump, but it was just a huge milestone to get over the fear of jumping. And I also made the smoothie bowl for myself because I bought some acai berry sorbet, and if you guys know, I'm a huge fan of smoothie bowls, and I hadn't had one in the longest time because I hadn't really been able to get anywhere that sold them, so making my own acai bowl at home was a really ideal situation for me, and was probably one of the few desserts that I had over the Christmas period, so I very, very much enjoyed it. And then I, of course, the next day woke up and continued my exercises, maybe not in the grandeur of the Royal Albert Hall, but once again in my living room, which I did find tough. Yep, but we got it done.
No, wait, hang on.
So yesterday I went to the Royal Albert Hall, so it was so inspiring, and I came back buzzing. I did my gym session and everything just felt so easy, and it's crazy how your emotions play such a big part in how your body feels. It just shows how much it's a mental game as well as a physical. Today I woke up, my body was aching from the work and everything felt heavy and sluggish, and I honestly did not want to work. Like, the thought of doing a bar on my own just made me want to like throw up. I was like, I just want to be back. I don't want to have to do all this work on my own all the time, which again sounds like complaining, but I'm just being honest with my emotions of how I'm feeling in the moment. And then I got to work a bit with Francis on Zoom, and actually that was the biggest blessing, because otherwise I just feel like I'm doing exercises for exercise's sake, and I'm actually lose sight of why I'm doing them and like what I need to focus on, because you're getting no feedback. It's just always input, you're putting your own input in, which is what you have to do, not just when you're getting back from rehab, but just in ballet in general. But it was just so nice. Francis is an injury mentor, basically someone who quite guides you through these moments because it's really tough. We voice message quite often, just even when I'm having a tough day, just to voice it out is helpful sometimes. Externally processing is helpful, and just have someone bounce off of is helpful. So I always really appreciate Francis in that respect. And then today she coached me a little bit, coming back to a little bit more ballet, a little bit more functional movement, which is always a bit scary at first. I was doing some pirouettes today, which is good, and she was just making sure that my technique was more precise going into them so that I don't give myself further injury or hurt myself. And actually it makes me feel like I'm improving because we're fixing things in my technique, rather than when I do it on my own. I sometimes feel like I'm just battering in the same old bad habits but not quite sure how to fix them. So it was nice to get some input from her. It's amazing how much better I feel when I've had some outside input and it's not just all me. That kind of makes me feel disappointed myself that I'm not able just to self-motivate like I used to be able to. Well, I always struggled, to be fair, when I used to do so much training on my own, and I feel like I shouldn't have to rely on others to push me. Sometimes I feel like a bad attitude towards it when I have to do it myself,
all the time. But it has been quite a few weeks of doing stuff more on my own, so I can't be that angry with myself. And your guys' comments always saying to give grace to myself in these moments, so I really appreciate that reminder. I need to go back. I've taken over the living room for way too long this morning, so I appreciate my family for allowing me to use it. Now it is actually New Year's Eve, so I need to go and spend some family time. I just spent most of the morning getting myself doing all the rehab stuff I need to. My gym days are now every other day, so I don't have to go to the gym today. It will actually let my legs recover so they don't feel like lead every day. Happy to have been working with Frances, and she reckons I'm ready to go back on point in a few days, so I'm very excited to get the boots back on. New year, back on my feet. Still feels like there's a long way to go, but closer, each day a little bit closer. So this is where I'm going to kind of wrap up this vlog. It felt appropriate at the end of a year. It's been definitely a challenging one. I feel like I say this at the end of every year, but I feel like each year I'm just really pushing to improve, to get better, to excel. And I felt like I had so many amazing moments this year. I taught at Move It and performed there, which was a huge win for me. I also achieved my degree, but I also got really unwell and had a crazy chest infection that ended up lasting for almost 2 or 3 months, despite still trying to rehearse through it a little bit. So it was a super mix of emotions. I felt like the biggest consistency in all of it is I just felt like I gave it my absolute all. And honestly, when I come to the end of a year or an end of a season, if I know that I've given it everything I got, that's really all I can ask of myself. I finally started finding some balance and joy and happiness in my life. I finally felt like things were on track, and I was more headed to where I wanted to be before all this stuff happened at the end of the year. And I think sometimes that's just the way life goes. Like, you finally feel like you're on track to becoming who you want to be, and then it throws a complete curveball in your face, and then it's really about how you react to it. It says life is 10% what happens to you and 90% of how you react to it. So each day I'm just trying to find the best way to approach each second of this life, and some days I do better than others, but I'm grateful for all the wonderful memories I made this year, and despite it not ending quite the way that I had hoped, I'm still determined to keep dreaming big and making it happen in 2025, whatever that may look like. And for me right now, my biggest goal is just to get back to dancing pain-free again, and with the same amount of joy and balance that I felt like I was achieving in my life before. So yeah, not the most upbeat way to end this vlog, but it's the honest way, and I am sending you guys so much love in your 2025s. I hope and pray that you will also find joy, happiness and balance in your 2025s, and you continue to keep dreaming big and make it happen despite what life may throw at you. It's time to readjust goals, but not readjust resolve. Let's keep reaching for our dreams and doing the best to our ability to make them happen.